Good evening, all of you, and a warm welcome to the Ahmedabad Management Association. Uh, I think Sir has made a very fair request. If we can make it a compact setting, it will be easy for you, easy for our demonstrators. What is it called, sir? Is that the right word? Demonstrators? Or, of course, your students, even better. Or active practitioners. Yeah. Feel free to sit in the first and the second rows as well. I mean, there are no VIPs. Wonderful. I think we're settling in. So, good evening, all of you, and once again, welcome to the Ahmedabad Management Association. I am Jainil Shah. I have the responsibility of handling the programs committee at AMA. I chair the programs committee, which is among the three committees here. And I don't know how many of you are coming to AMA for the first time, or all of you have been very frequent. Wonderful. Oh, is it? Wow, our speaker is coming. I think then a loud round of applause from all of you to him, rather. Sir, at AMA, we have a philosophy that it is always our AMA, and once you come, you don't go back. So I think that's going to be true with you as well. You're going to keep coming back again and again. And AMA for us is always about always moving ahead rather than just the Ahmedabad Management Association. So welcome all of you. All the more important day, 21st of June. I think 2014 is when the United Nations collectively upon India's lead with some 177 countries together sponsoring this motion of declaring it as the International Day of Yoga. And I think nothing can be more beautiful at a time when the world is struggling for mental wellness, physical wellness, and so much more. The world picks up on this ancient science. So I think it has been a beautiful initiative by the UN, and it has helped academic places like AMA and so many other to start a discourse about the importance of yoga. And also a very beautiful day. I think it was very well thought of because we call it in the Western culture as the summer solstice. It's the longest day of the earth when the sun is rather at the closest from both the poles. So in a lot of ways, it has been a thoughtful consideration and looks forward to be a wonderful initiative for sure. I have a small responsibility of introducing our trainer to you, rather our speaker faculty, and then felicitate him and then hand it over to him. So Dr. Devdutt Kapadia is here with us. He's a medical graduate by education, of course, and he's an entrepreneur by profession. He has been practicing Iyengar yoga for over 25 years now under the guidance of various senior teachers, and he is feeling indebted to his Guruji. One of the reasons why he is sharing a lot of his time and knowledge to pass on that learning that he had under Guruji, conducting regular Iyengar yoga camps in Ahmedabad on behalf of the Iyengar Yoga Trust, and is also associated with the Astral Foundation. In fact, for last 7 years, but Astral Foundation is also sponsoring and supporting this initiative. I happen to have known Sandeep Bhai personally because we are connected at Gujarat Chamber of Commerce. But I can tell you, while Sir is not here, but he's committed to yoga and the well-being at that institute, because every small time when we have a talk about some institution coming up, he always remembers કે આ પણ એક મારી જવાબદારી છે. So I think we have to have a loud round of applause for the Astral group and the continuing support that the entire family has been giving. So Himani, yeah, we have the moment of her. In fact, this is Matani Pacheri. I'm happy to present it to you because we are here to celebrate an ancient science in yoga, and this is some 17th century art that we have, and these are natural dyes. They go on for 300 to 400 years. So certainly a beautiful privilege for us to present it to you, sir. So So, of course, but we have a good gathering here. We will be likely joined by a few hundred people online as well. So, this is going to go live on our YouTube channel. Unfortunately, I have some airport duties, so I'll also be rushing off, but I'll be catching off this event on YouTube as well. And we look forward to engaging more because, sir, our focus is if India and if Ahmedabad at all has to host Olympics, it's one thing to win medal in Olympics, other is to we have to have a culture of fitness, understanding sports, wellness, everything, and physical, mental well-being. As a city, we should be ready in every which way, not just infrastructure, to be able to talk, think about sports, well-being, and so much. So at AMA, we have made a conscious effort that every month, every week, every year, every quarter, we are going to have more and more such events. So we look forward to engaging with you all the more frequently. Thank you so much once again, and look forward to this wonderful session.
Thanks for this. But just a thing, you are supposed to stand on your head before you go. See, it's yoga is about experiencing. The study of yoga, it's a subject which you study, but the study is through experience. It is an experiential subject. So why are we having so many people here? Why do I want all of you here? Because a lot of you will be coming on stage with us. And if you don't experience what we have to say, then it's like, you're just talking about a good recipe and you don't know what the taste is. So our endeavor today, for which I must thank AMA, Astral, I mean, Astral has been without any qualms, without anything, without question, has been supporting us since June 2018. So that's 7 years today. I think that's a big round for them, you know. And our Prime Minister's message of International Day of Yoga, I think that has really gone across the world. And this year, I think even more. So we'll talk a little more about it afterwards. But I definitely wish that with AMA, if you claim that once we are in, we don't come out, then please have sessions where us or our teachers, our Astral Foundation, we are all involved to take it forward to different people from different walks of life, because it's all about life.
No, no, certainly. In fact, just a small promise, because when you make promises in public, I think you tend to be truer to that. So when I took over as a cricket committee chairman at Karnavati Club and I saw 50-year-old gentleman playing so well, I chose on the 1st of December, I lose 12 kgs of weight. I'm lighter by 12 kgs now. So hopefully I'm making a commitment that next 21st, I will be one among these for sure. So,
Brilliant.
I mean, that's a
Sudhir,
good
yaad
attempt.
rakhiye humne.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a good recording. Ajay is the camera on my side. So hopefully we should be able to focus that. But yeah, thank you so
Thank you.
much. Most
Thank you very
welcome. Yeah.
much. Yeah. So, just to start, before we come to this, we did a small, how do I'm technically challenged. So, okay, fine. Ah, okay. So we had a short interview which Doordarshan did, just come from there. And the first question which they asked was that you're talking about yoga and you're coming in a jacket. So, okay. So just to say that Ajay, yoga is synonymous with all walks of life. That's why even the subject we've chosen is Iyengar Yoga for life management. So what we'll try and see today in a short, we'll have a short talk on this, and then we will have a demonstration and of course the proof of the pudding. So we will also want that all of you participate in one form or the other, just to experience what we are talking over here and why we do what we do. Yeah. So you can see I'm associated with the Iyengar Yoga Shray. That is our Guruji Yogacharya BKS Iyengar. You can see his photograph there. He is the person who's founded this system of practice. Yoga is from time immemorial. Nobody can claim authority or an IPR on yoga. But the way it has been passed on to generations, so there is something called Iyengar Yoga today, even in the Oxford Dictionary. So we'll today briefly try and see what sets it apart from the other systems. Astral Charitable Trust, like I said, from 2018, we have been supported by them. So thank you very much, Astral. And thank you very much, AMA, for today's talk. And hopefully, we'll have many more such interactive sessions. Thanks, Himani. You've been a big help. Yeah. So, shall we move on? Okay, so what is the International Day of Yoga? Like the gentleman said, basically, in 2014, the UN adopted this resolution and they named 21st this June, the summer solstice day, as the International Day of Yoga to create awareness. The only take we have, or what we would like to share, is unlike Father's Day, Mother's Day, Doctor's Day. You say, I remember my doctor, I send a card, I send a flower, a bouquet, or a cake. If my father lives away from me, I take him out for lunch, dinner. But then what about the other 364 days? So days have become synonymous with one day of 365. Our takeaway should be that it is a reminder, it's a reminder that for the other 364 days, we need to continue this practice, continue this sadhana. That is the reason why we celebrate International Day of Yoga, because we do this 365 days a year, 24/7. It's round the clock, not just allotting one day, right? So first, we will briefly see what we mean by life, how we define it, what we mean by Iyengar Yoga briefly, and how Iyengar Yoga can be used for that life management as we see it. Okay? So, what is the USP of Iyengar Yoga? First, life. When I talk of life or any individual who's alive, we have what is called a body mind complex. You have a body which you can all see. You have a mind which you use. It also has emotions, intellect, memory. There are many facets to that mind. And from a yogic point, one of the most important aspects of life defining, is the breath, which in simplistic terms is shwasa, but in yogic terms it is prana. It has more deeper implications. When we talk of life, we are referring to all these aspects in a holistic and intermingled way. They all mingle with each other. There is no hierarchy. In the olden days, we thought body is the grossest, then comes the breath, and then the most subtle is the mind. But science has shown that they are interlinked. Each one affects the other, which we will see through our yogic practices. So, correct alignment of the body leads to positive change in breath, positive change in mind. If you can learn to control your breath, through that, you can afford to make changes in your body, in the functioning of the body, the physiology, the anatomy, the alignment, and also you can quieten the mind. You can see that very typical example, that if you are running or if you're angry, in movies, you're panting, so your breath is directly linked to your mind state. And then imagine if you've done chemistry and you're pouring sulfuric acid in a test tube, what will your breath be like? You'll dare not even breathe hard with the fear that it's going to drop on your hand. So, mind state, body state, breath state are all interlinked. And this is the basis on which we do Iyengar Yoga. So, when we talk of Iyengar Yoga, what are its salient features? How do you distinguish it? They say, no, what are the distinguishing characters of a mammal? What are distinguishing characters of a reptile? So there are each some category when you categorize as certain distinguishing characters. So what makes Iyengar Yoga different from other systems? So there are four basic tenets or four basic verticals which are integral to any Iyengar yoga practice. The first is alignment, which is very layman's term straightness. But when we do the asanas, we'll see what alignment means. Second is sequence. We have a session, say a session lasts for 1 hour. So how does one decide which asana do you start with? What do you go on to? What do you finish with? When do you do standing? When do you sitting? When do you do forward bending? When do you support it standing? All those things, there is a logic to that sequencing. Third is, how do you maintain that alignment? How do you get the maximum benefit? So Guruji, over the years and through his practice, through his understanding, has created what we call props. These are all supports, like how if you are fractured, you have a crutch. So in the same way, there are different props which are useful in yogic practice as practiced by Iyengar yogis. In fact, the basic props are your floor. We all stand on the floor. So we very often use the floor to guide us. We use the walls to guide us, which are natural props. In a very fundamental sense, your whole skeleton is your prop. If there was no skeleton, then you would not be able to stand, sit, do any movements. So, apart from that, you can see on the stage there are many things which we will show you how we use them. We will also invite you to try and experience for yourself what sort of changes it brings about. And all this leads us to the most important thing, which is we emphasize on maintaining a pose. Unlike many systems which say, okay, hold the pose for 5 breaths, some just move, what you call vinyasa. It just moves, flow. You go into Uttanasana, then you jump back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, and then it just continues. So there are different sequences. But Guruji, when he practiced, he started the same way. But then over time, he realized that I'm not gaining anything. I'm not able to make out what changes are happening in me. I'm not able to help others because I myself don't know what is to be done or how it is to be done or not done. So then he started waiting for longer periods. So one way of doing that is, of course, through abhyasa or practice. But the other way is by using props which help you to stay in a pose for sufficiently long periods of time, which extends into many minutes. Okay. So, how do we study the changes or how do we study the effects of Iyengar yoga? In modern sense, in modern terms, what really happens? So there are a lot of studies which have been done, lot of studies on blood flow, lot of studies on chemical changes, hormonal changes, physiological other parameters, other hormonal secretions, alignment, so many different ways of looking. So just a few main things which you can see is how that translates into the change which you feel. So when I do a correctly aligned pose, just stand Sudhir, Tadasana and Urdhva Badungli Asana. Okay. So when I stand in a pose which is aligned, my feet are together, the thighs have rolled in, shoulder blades in, wrists moving up, elbows straight. So when all this happens, what is actually happening to you inside? So there are a lot of changes which happen in blood flow. There are a lot of changes which happen in the chemicals. There are a lot of such changes. Just to mention a few, we've just done some reading, and there are two concepts I would like to talk about. Okay, come now, sit. Thanks. One is when you do an asana for a long amount of time, there is something which scientists have found is called a relaxation response. You relax into something. When I'm doing something for a long period, suddenly you find as if things start happening in slow motion, as if you are detached from what you're doing, as if you can see things more clearly. And your physiology changes, your blood pressure drops, your heart rate drops, your breathing slows down, sometimes it becomes imperceptible. Chemical changes or hormonal changes happen which make you feel more satisfied rather than focused, you know. Adrenaline gives you a fight or flight reaction, what is normally known. Whereas the parasympathetic system, the opioids associated with that bring about a deeper sense of satisfaction, relaxation, where you're more happy just being rather than doing. There is also something called flow that many times, you know, you find singers, very typical example, you know, they do alap for hours at end, which most people find difficult to understand, boring, you don't know why it's being done. But when you do certain practices over long periods of time, it brings you into a state of mind, body, breath where things just flow. You know, if any of you have played cricket, I think the gentleman who said, yeah, he's cricket committee chairperson. You know, if you hear people, not when they make a century, but when they make 200 runs, 250 runs, 300, when they've been there enough, they say, no, suddenly the cricket ball looks like a football to me. How does that happen? So there are certain changes which are happening in your internal milieu, in your internal environment, which brings about that state of mind where you are suddenly more aware than normal. So these are all changes which modern science has recognized, documented. They've tried to give different chemical, physiological reasons for it. So just simple. So when you do certain practices, you will find altered cerebral blood flow in certain cortexes, in the amygdala, in the brainstem, and all these lead to the various changes that we've been talking about. But the beauty of this is what we have found today. And after spending billions of dollars in research, what does the Yoga Sutras say? The Yoga Sutras is the, you can say, foundation on which yoga rests. You know, whenever a person would start a talk in tradition, they would say that I am sitting on Vyaspit. Vyas Muni, Ved Vyas, whom we call, is supposed to be the first guru. So when we celebrate Guru Purnima, it's ideally his birthday. So we recognize the fact that the original guru who gave us all this knowledge, we are sitting on his back. So it is not our knowledge, it is knowledge which has been passed down from time immemorial. So in the Yoga Sutras, there are 4 sections, Pada. The 4 sections, the second one deals with your practice. How do you practice? What are the ways you do? Sadhana, it is called. So in that there are two of the sutras which explain this in a very short way. You know, if other research takes pages and reams of paper, here in two simple things they have explained. So the 47th sutra, it says Prayatna Shaithilyam, Ananta Samapattibhyam. Prayatna Shaithilyam, when your practice becomes effortless. So when you sing alap for hours, when you go to the nets every day and keep hitting certain strokes, when you keep bowling, you have 1 wicket and you just try and get it out. So that practice, when it becomes effortless, you know, if you've done martial arts, easier example. So all the time, thousands of times you'll practice the same punch, same block, same kick. Why? So that it becomes a natural reaction to you. So when there is that state which is so beautifully described, prayatna shaithilyam, the prayatna is effortless. So when your prayatna becomes effortless, what is the effect of that? Ananta samapatti. Samapatti, sama is equanimity, equal. So when both sides are balanced, I say you are in a state of samasthiti. So samapatti ananta. So it is not for a few seconds, it's not for a few, it extends over a long period of time. So by regular yogic practices, you can extend that state of balance, equanimity, whatever you wish to call it. for prolonged periods of time, which implies that when you go through different parts of life, you go to work, you're driving. I mean, you see how Ahmedabad traffic is. You're waiting for a metro. You know what modern people face? Simple things. You don't get your Ola on time, or he's cancelled it at the last moment. Now it is raining. My bike I cannot use. It's the small things which affect us. So this state of Ananta Samapatti takes you through these with equanimity in a state of health, wellness. So that is what Iyengar Yoga aims at. So of course we talk of asanas, of course we talk of alignment. We will show you asanas. But the state of Ananta Samapatti is what you have to create in yourself. You have to experience in yourself. And that is what we try and show to our students. So that is what Guruji tried to show to us. And that is what is actually the aim of all this practice that we do. And 248, what does it say? Tato dvandva nabhijata. That means at that point, the dualities cease to exist. So, which means whether I'm angry or whether I'm relaxed, whether I'm tired or whether I'm fresh, it does not change my state of being. So, you are going beyond those stages of duality, opposites, which we all face in our day to day life. So, this is the real aim of Iyengar Yoga. And this only talks about the asana practice. In fact, for many people here who are yoga practitioners, many times students come to us. Maybe you all have also faced. They say, "મારે ખાલી પ્રાણાયામ શીખવું છે. શરીરમાં તો કઈ એમની જરૂર જ નથી. હું ખાલી પ્રાણાયામ મને શીખવાડો. કે મને ખાલી ધ્યાન જ શીખવાડો. આ તો કોઈ પણ આસનમાં બેસી જાઉં. It's okay." But what does the Yoga Sutra say? Sadhana Pad. Again, you come back to this. So the 47th, 48th talk of the effects of Yoga Sadhana. The 49th Sutra, the one after this, is the one which starts talking of pranayam. So what does it mean? That first you have to ideally reach this state of mind, body, breath to qualify to start doing pranayam. Whereas what do we say? મને તો બધું આવડે છે. હું ખાલી પ્રાણાયામ શીખીશ. 10 કલાકનો કોર્સ, 5 દિવસનો કોર્સ. Fine, it's a beginning, just like day of yoga. We have no issue with that. But that's not the end. That's the starting point. That is what should lead us further inside. So after this state of Ananta Samapatti, after your dualities have ceased, you actually start going within, which are the real benefits of Iyengar Yoga. And the first tool of going within is breath. No, Prashantji, our Guruji's son, he always says that in the mind body breath complex, the body ages, it decays, of course. Even the mind ages, but the breath is always fresh. You never breathe the same air again. It is the only part of you which is ever fresh, ever green, ever young. So how can you just take it for granted? "Kya re, hun pranayam kari lais." So it needs that respect. There is a certain depth which you learn from this. Of course, we start teaching you don't have to wait, otherwise a lifetime can go in getting this. But if we don't understand its placement, then we don't get its value. So the Yoga Sutras guide us as well as modern medicine guides us. In fact, all are converging. So that is why we say, no, many people say, "અરે, આ તો old wine in new bottle. આ તો બધું આપણા શાસ્ત્રોમાં લખ્યું છે. બધી ખબર છે અમને." So that is the flip side of this thing. Of course, લખ્યું છે. But after being experienced, after being going through decades of sadhana, not even months or years, so then it becomes living for us. "અરે, આ તો મને ગાતા આવડે છે, હું ગાઈ લઈશ." But when you do alap for 5 hours a day, 7 days a week, 12 months a year, then you realize what that real singing is. There you go, our youngest yogis, they will eat and perform also, don't worry. So this is what Iyengar Yoga is about. This is what a classic system should be. That we call it Iyengar Yoga, that we are fortunate we are part of it is a different thing. But any classic, like classical music, આપણે કહે ને સુગમ સંગીત, તો ભાઈ હું ખાલી થોડા બોલિવૂડના ગાયન શીખી લઈશ, કે if you are spiritual or religiously inclined મને થોડા ભજન શીખવા છે. Or then you go Kali Thodi Tumri, Dadra, whatever that is. But how many will spend 10 years to reach that state of, graduating? What is it called? Something when you graduate in that art. So, not many people. Sorry? Visharat, exactly. So, my wife is a Visharat in singing. So, my children used to laugh when she used to practice. Arey, mummy, su karo cho? Please shut the door when you're doing alap. Naturally, to a lay person, that whatever they do, it has no correlation. So every time I just stand with my hands, some people when they used to come to a class, અરે આ તો તાડાસન જ કર્યા કરે છે, બીજા આસન જ નથી આના યોગમાં. But what it means is there are certain things you keep doing again and again and again and again to instill, because then you will see tadasan in every pose you do. That same alap will help you in any rag, in any karl or whatever, any pitch, anything. But that base has to be formed, you know. So this is the main takeaway of today. That on the International Day of Yoga, let us understand what yoga is, even if we don't look at the esoteric or the pratyahara dharana dhyan samadhi, even if we don't touch that, if we reach only till a state where we can say you are genuinely practicing pranayam, even that's a big step. And that is what we want to say. That's what we do here. That's what we want to show a bit today, how Guruji has adapted this system. And if some of you also can come and participate just to understand what it is all about, then it will be a great thing. Okay, so this means that now the talk part, the theory is over. So if you want to share, I mean, I can see many people I know, so they are practitioners since long. But if you have anything to say, anything to ask, we are here. Otherwise, we can move on, and at that time we can interact. Okay. When there are no questions, you feel scared. Either they've understood everything or nothing. Yes, sir. So અહીંયા બિગિનર્સ કઈ રીતે ચાલુ કરવું જોઈએ is what he is saying. એટલે we have classes ને, એટલે અહીંયા એસ્ટ્રલના થ્રુથી જે અમે પૂનામાં, એટલે to give a background, ગુરુજીનું આશ્રમ ને ઘર પૂનામાં છે. I have come from બોમ્બે, એટલે અમારે બોમ્બેમાં સેન્ટર્સ છે આયંગર યોગના. એવી જ રીતે અમે અહીંયા એસ્ટ્રલના થ્રુથી પાલડીમાં અને મકરબામાં હવે અમે 2 સેન્ટર ચાલુ કર્યા છે, જ્યાં દર મહિને અમે કોઈક બોમ્બેથી આવે જ ટીચર, અને અહીંયા પણ હવે અમારા ઘણા સિનિયર સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ છે જે ક્લાસીસ લે છે. So we have regular classes which we will show. In fact, કાલથી જ એક શિબિર ચાલુ થવાની. So if anybody is interested, please join to experience what we are saying. બરાબર? Great. So what we do is, typical અમારો ક્લાસ ચાલુ થાય ને, so we start with a prayer. એટલે we invoke. It's not a prayer, but we are invoking. એટલે we are remembering. We remember 2 people. એક તો પતંજલિ, જે આપણા પ્રથમ ગુરુ છે આમાં યોગના, અને એક આપણા પોતાના ગુરુ. So what we do is we sit straight. એટલે બધા અહીંયા તમે જુઓ, people are sitting on different props in different poses, જે અમે પછી તમને explain કરશું. And we start with the invocation. So sit straight, join your palms, close your eyes, spine erect, base firm, palms pressed firmly, eyes closed, look at the breath, observe the breath as it moves in and out. In this observant state, let us all invoke Sage Patanjali and our Guruji together. So we start. Om. योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचाम् मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोतं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि आबाहुपुरुषाकारं शङ्खचक्रासिधारिणम् सहस्रशीर्षं श्वेतं प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिम् गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः Hari Om. Then exhalation, bow your heads, release the palms, open your eyes, look up. So this is how we typically start. So it makes you ready. So even if you read the Yoga Sutras, what is the first sutra? Atah Yoga Anushasanam. That means they are informing you. Okay, now we are starting this exposition. Then it starts Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha, Tadas, whatever. But you are now getting prepared. The teacher or whoever it is telling you, can now you have to bring your mind towards this. So now what do we do? Okay, so what I'm going to do briefly is we won't let everyone અચ્છા અહીંયા એક રૂલ છે ફોન વાગે તો અમને ડિપોઝિટ કરી દેવાનો એટલે વી કલેક્ટ મોબાઈલ્સ એન્ડ That's a good one. તો તમારે અમેરિકાથી આવશે તો થોડો પ્રોબ્લેમ થશે એમાં. No. So basically we will just ask a few people to demonstrate and more important કે જે ક્લાસિકલ પોઝ છે એ પણ કરશે ને જે અમે પ્રોપ્સથી વાપરીએ એ પણ કરશે. My real suggestion is if any of you also volunteer and come on stage, we would like to make you do certain simple things. એટલે we don't expect you to do anything difficult. મને કાંઈ બહુ ડિફિકલ્ટ બતાડવાના નથી. But just to experience, when we talk of alignment, when we talk of different things, breath change, mind change, એ આપણને કંઈક એવું લાગે જ કે નહીં, ખાલી just to experience. Okay? So we all stand. So some of the props you can see એટલે અમારો basic prop the mat છે. Guruji says your mat is your biggest prop. It is your શું કહેવાય partner in life. આપણી સાથે બધે જ આપણી mat આવશે. You know. So we start with the basic pose which is called Tadasana. Tad is a palm tree. We know you stand straight. એટલે just 3-4 people. Sudhir જો તો કોણ આવશે? So everything, every movement they do has a meaning. He is adjusting the feet. તો તમે જોશો કોઈના પગ joint છે. તમે જોશો ભાઈ how do you start this? Come on, can. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Okay. So you will see people doing different things. કોઈના પગ સાથે છે પણ there is a brick between the thighs. કોઈનામાં brick બે પગની વચ્ચે છે. Somebody standing with their feet turned inwards. Somebody standing in what we call classical pose where the feet are together. In યોગ આપણે જ્યારે આપણે કહે ને ચાર્લી ચેપ્લિનનો આપણે વોક કેવી રીતે હોય આમ ચાલે એનો પગ બહાર ટર્ન છે. That's a wrong alignment where yoga is concerned. So we always talk of parallelity. The parallelity comes in every asana, in every movement. So in the classical pose, there is parallelity of every body part. In fact, all of you can stand. Why don't you stand? In your own place, you don't have to do anything. શૂઝ હોય તો રહેવા દો, ચપ્પલ હોય તો કાઢો. Yeah, if you can, I mean, it's up to you. So bring, some of you can stand with your feet together, toes are touching, heels are touching. Barabar છે? Now bend your knees slightly. Now imagine a brick. Imagine a brick છે ને તમે તમારા thighs ની વચ્ચે એને crush કરો છો. So bring both the inner thighs close to each other and then slowly straighten yourself. So you will find a different opening. You will find કે આ જે pelvic area છે, tailbone area છે, buttock region છે, it is becoming compact. You can feel it. જે આપણે આમ normally ઊભા રહીએ, our feeling is only in the foot. But when you move in this direction, you will find that movement coming from the base. So the basic principle is you work from the root. You don't work from the distal part, you work from the root. This is what it helps. So you can also roll your shoulders back and bring the shoulder blades in. So the shoulder blades are very important parts where we are concerned. So for many people, just આપણે કે ને ખુંધાઈ છે. So the shoulder blades are moving out. They are moving away from each other. They are moving away from the front. But we do the opposite. What we were talking with Mahendra Bhai, Pratipaksha Bhavana. The natural tendency is to loosen. The natural tendency is for the foot to go out. But the Pratipaksha Bhavana means with awareness you are doing the opposite. આપણે કહે ને છોકરાઓને, અરે ભાઈ એને ન કરવું હોય તો કે ભાઈ બહુ કરા, તો ઇવન થઈ જશે. So even the body follows the same logic. So you have to go pratipaksha to that. So this is what yoga with awareness is. So all of you, just stand straight up. આરામથી ઊભા છે. આરામ કા મામલા है. Just stand. Nothing, you don't, there's no awareness. So you can be thinking of anything in the world. It doesn't matter. But when all these things come, to maintain that stage, you will automatically have to only be focused on what you're doing or not doing. So this is how you start binding your mind to your body and to your breath. Okay? Now all of you stand straight up. Urdhva Hastasana. Palms facing each other. Andarni taraf. Yeah. Good. Okay. Now, ઓલા બધા હાથ નીચે લો. ઓલા એમટીવી શો કોઈ જોતા હતા અહીંયા બધા યંગ લોકો છે ને, ઓલા એમટીવી બકરા કરીને એક શો આવતો હતો. દે ફાઇન્ડ સમ કેન્ડિડેટ કે ભાઈ આજે કોનું, તો આજે આપણો બકરો કોણ છે અહીંયા? કમ ઓન હિમાની, કમ ઓન. I was waiting. She has been a big help. Seriously, come on, come on, come on. Come on. No, it's to show. See, contrast teaches. And the good part is, uppar aave ne to subconsciously they start doing the right thing, So you can't even fault them after that. Kar ave, su karti. Just do. Stand with your feet together. Now both hands straight up. Urdhva Hastasana. Okay. So what do you see? What happens to most people? It's a loose thing. Elbow ma thodu bend che. You can see heart. They are no much distance. Barabar. Now what we do is, I give her a brick. Haath sidho le agar. Hold the brick now. Hold it strongly. Okay, we have done the simple movement. Khali brick જ hold કરી છે ને. Now take the hand up. Do you notice any change? થઈ ગયું ને? હવે સાહેબ તમે આવો. આ મૂકી દો. આમ જ કરો. કરો. He has improved. I'm sorry. I can't. But anyway, what you just help people, you can help to straighten, and then you can tell them hold a brick, or you can also use a belt. So do you find any difference? More important is brick. Now do it hand straight. So you can feel the difference. It doesn't stretch, and it is seen. More important is what you feel. Okay. Now the same thing behind. Turn around. Clasp your hands. સેમ એટલે આમાં અહીંયા નેચરલ સ્ટીફનેસ આવે. હવે હું કહું બ્રિક પકડ ને કર, you will find it start straightening. So what is the concept? The concept is of touch. આપણું સૌથી મોટું સેન્સ ઓર્ગન કયું છે? skin. So yoga talks about sparsha. The touch guides your body. એટલે આવી રીતે કરે ને તો movement will come and twine either from here or at the most from here. આનાથી કરે ને the movement starts going further up. You can see this starts getting activated. So this is a very simple logic, a very simple thing. So Guruji found with age, all of us have age. એટલે આપણે આને અરે બોસ અહીં આવ ને હા અહીં આવ આવ સ્ટેજ ઉપર હીરો કોણ ઉપર કમ ઓન ઊભો રહે સામે જો
હાલો હાલો
બે વાત ઉપર કર સી નેચરલ ને કારણ કે બધું ઢીલું છે there is no muscle formation, there is no બરાબર ને મજા આવે જ ને હા but now his after his it doesn't matter. I mean I think સંભળાય જ ને બધાને હા so અરે ચલ તું પણ આવ ઉપર તું પણ કર ઉર્ધ્વ હસ્તાસન હા see the other point is he's fearless, he's standing here without fear. આપણે કે અહીંયા ઊભા રહીને કંઈ કરો તો you know. So what I'm saying is as we grow our mind stops us from lot of things which also we will see. It is subconscious, there is nothing wrong in it, but it is a subconscious reflex. A lot of it stems from what scientists call from our what do you say that innate desire to be surviving. ઠીક છે ને સર્વાઈવ ફાઇટ ઓફ ફ્લાઇટ હું આમ કરું તો શું થશે અરે ભાઈ ભલે હું ફોરવર્ડ બેન્ડ ના કરું પણ પડવો તો ન જોઈએ આપણે કહીએ ને કે ભાઈ વ્યાજ ન મળે મૂડી તો રહેવી જોઈએ you know mean okay that it makes sense but that also translates into not so good effects. Are he knows what to do. Sudhir ઉર્ધ્વ બધ ઉંગલિયાસન હવે બધા આ કરો ઉર્ધ્વ બધ ઉંગલિયાસન he is the guide કરો ચલો કર ઉર્ધ્વ બધ ઉંગલિયાસન કર એમ આવી રીતે ઉપરના તરફ એમ ઓકે now bring the hands down, change the interlock તમારું ઓકે અને પાછું કરો ફાઇન ચલો થેન્ક્સ હવે તમે આવો સાહેબ no don't wear anything, just come as you. No, why we are saying it because you don't know what is going to happen, so you'll get a more what do you say natural response. You can sit, oh, it's okay, when we'll stand in Tadasana, feet together. So basic, whenever we do anything the basics don't change. If I am standing I have to always make sure that alertness is there, which is how your mind remains in what you are doing. Okay, હવે કરો હાથ એન્ટવાઇન કરો બહારની તરફ ને કરો હા it has already improved. Okay, first when so okay that's another thing કે આપણે એટેન્શનમાં આવીએ ને અમે સ્ટુડન્ટ્સને કહીએ કે સારું કરાવવું હોય ને તો બધાને ડેમોન્સ્ટ્રેશન કરાવો. ઇટ્સ હ્યુમન નેચર ને કે બધાની સામે આઈ વોન્ટ ટુ લુક માય બેસ્ટ. ઘરે ભલે હું વાળ કહેવાય રાખું તમારા ગુરુજી છે અહીંયા ઓકે so એટલે એનાથી ડરો જ કે અમારે okay so he is improved. So what is the thing is that in spite of that there are certain restrictions. કરો પાછો ના ના હજુ તો આપણું શરૂઆત છે. See now he is understanding what to do. What many of us do now કે આપણી fingers ઉપર જાય છે because what is more flexible, wrist or fingers? Obviously fingers. So many of us do just here, but what we want is that the wrist works. So now what happens is હાથ bend કરો. Now you hold the brick, hold the brick, hold નહીં એમ નહીં આમ entwine fingers થી hold કરો હું પકડું છું now push it upwards. Now start pushing. You will see it has started straightening. Only thing is એમનો હાથ કાનની આગળ છે તો you train him કે ભાઈ પાછળ. So there is lot of stiffness. So when you feel his back you will realize કે અહીંયા બહુ stiff છે. So then you see you have to do other things. Okay, get a chair. In Ardha Uttanasana with elbows on chair. So this is how you build a sequence. કે ભાઈ માને ઘણાને થાઈમાં સ્ટીફનેસ હશે, ઘણાને નીમાં પ્રોબ્લેમ હશે, ઘણાને ફ્લેટ ફૂટ હોય, ઘણાને બીજા પ્રોબ્લેમ હોય, knock knees હોય, bow knees હોય. So everything, you know, everything has a different solution. So when you do Ardha Uttanasana, first show શું કરવાનું તું બતા. મેટ ઉપર નહીં રાખ. Keep it outside. So what we will do is, one way of doing Ardha Uttanasana is this. Okay, but what I want you to do is place your elbows on this, bend your elbows, and hold the brick. So then you will see this goes in strongly. You can see this, it's almost curving. બરાબર ને? હવે તમે આવો. So you see what is to be done, right? પહેલા કરો, આમ જ કરો. નહીં, પગ થોડા. હા, હવે. So you can see this is bunching up. આ દેખાય છે? બરાબર ને? That means he needs a stronger action. આપણે કહીએ ને ઘણા શું હોય? લાતો કા ભૂત. એટલે you need a stronger action. This action is not enough. So what I say is now bring your elbow. એટલે આગળ આવો હજી. Elbow ને આના ઉપર પ્લેસ કરો. Elbow ને બેન્ડ કરો. કમ્ફર્ટેબલ આરામથી. આના ઉપર બ્લેન્કેટ મૂકો. It's okay. This is cool. Comfortable. Yeah. Now I want to hold the brick. And now walk back and start. So you can see this has started to flatten. Means there is some life here. આપણે કહે ને ગુરુજી કહે ને કે prana or energy starts flowing through these areas only when you can access it. આપણે એમ કહીએ અરે હું તો 10 વર્ષથી યોગા કરું છું, રોજ હાથ ઉપર કહું છું, 10 વાર આ કરું છું, but if you don't access it, the movement comes from a different part. And you can see a person who's trained doing it. So there are so many things. The armpit, આનું જુઓ, આ એક જ લાઈન છે, બરાબર છે? There is only one line. There is no crook. There is no bend. અહીંયા હજી દેખાય છે. So then એને માટે we use a rope, we pull there are many things then. So this is how practice progresses. This is how one thing leads to the other. અને આ જ્યારે કરેક્ટલી કરશે, ભલે આપણને ખોટું દેખાય છે, you can make out the difference, but he will stay more comfortably than before. So if you ask him after half a minute or 1 minute, he will say કે ભાઈ મને આમાં બરોબર પહેલા કરતા સારું થયું અને હું એમાં રહ્યો તો હું કમ્ફર્ટેબલ થયો. Come on. કઈ ફરક લાગ્યો? ન લાગ્યો તો હાજ કેજો. No, but what it means is, see, this is how you learn to go inside you. It is not just કે અમે બ્રિક વાપરી કે આ કર્યું, પણ એનો જે આપણા ઉપર અંદર જે અસર થાય છે આપણા માઇન્ડ ઉપર, આપણા શ્વાસ ઉપર, આપણા સ્ટેટ ઓફ ઓલા ઉપર, that is what guides us in our practice, and that's what brings us back. બરાબર? So this is what we want, that or what we do in every practice of our own. બરાબર? Anyone else wants to try? કોઈને brick? Come. Thanks. What's your name? Sukesh. Okay. In the meantime, તું શું કહેતો હતો? Give a, yeah. તમે પહેલા સ્ટ્રેટ કરો, આમ ઉભા રહો, ફેસિંગ. ઉર્ધ્વ હસ્તાસન કરો, બે વાત ઉપર. હા. So you see, he is already flexible relatively. Already you can say his shoulder blades are moving in. So this is doing fine. હવે તમે આ કરો, અર્ધ ઉત્તનાસન. હા, elbows, tip of the elbows મૂકવાના. Now walk back, feet apart and parallel. Feet પોળા અને પોળા રાખો અને પેરેલલ રાખો. બસ, ગુડ. ટોઝ ઇનવર્ડ. ને હવે આરામથી ડોન્ટ સી, યુ રિલેક્સ, એકદમ રિલેક્સ કરો.
Go wider with the legs. Spread the legs wider.
ઓકે,
More wide.
આર યુ ઓકે?
More. Still more.
તો હવે બસ, ઇનફ. નાઉ હવે લેગ બેન્ડ કરો. અરે હાથ બેન્ડ કરો. નહીં, ડોન્ટ સી, there is that natural thing. Why are you doing? एकदम relax करो, ઊભા થાઓ સીધા. Just relax. આપણે કહીએ ને, just ઢીલા પડો. આપણે કાંઈ ઓલું નથી કરવાનું. We are totally relaxed. Okay? હવે કરો. પગ પોળા રાખીને. Yeah. Elbows કોણી એક્ઝેક્ટલી કોણી રાખો એનો. એકદમ રિલેક્સ કરો, એકદમ રિલેક્સ કરો, એકદમ રિલેક્સ કરો. હા. હવે એકદમ રિલેક્સ રીતે બેન્ડ કરો. હા. See, so he has that tendency of unnecessarily, this is extra work. આપણે કહીએ ને કે ભાઈ તારે લિફ્ટ છે તો તું 5 માળ શું કામ ચડે છે? યુ નો, થોડા હજી પોળા કરો. આ અંદર લો, એડી બાર. હા. But this, now you can see he has to start working. You can see the angle here. એટલે then there are different things to do. First, he has to learn to relax. He has to learn to ease into the pose. આપણે કહીએ ને એકદમ આરામથી સૂક્ષ્મ રીતે તમે આસન કરવું જોઈએ. તો પણ if he does it for long enough, એમને લાગશે કે મને કંઈક ફરક પડ્યો. ઓકે, થેન્ક્સ. કંઈ કહેવું જ તમારે? ઓકે, થેન્ક યુ. હા.
Yeah. See, this pose seems very easy, right? And in fact, it is
He is
easy.
Sudhir, one of
Yeah.
our senior students here.
So this seems very easy to, when you see it, it's not visually very appealing, but physiologically it can do wonders at times. I have had this experience in 2011. I had a dengue, and for 2 days I could not, come out of my bed. Then I started doing supported savasan with bolsters, which we'll be doing it at the end of the class. Then I started getting up a little bit, doing some other poses. On fourth and fifth day, I did little bit different variation of this Ardha Uttanasan. On the fifth day, my appetite was back. On the seventh day, I was on the class. So such a tremendous physiological effect, which we cannot even imagine. Externally, it looks very simple, but internally, it does a lot of dynamism. This is what I wanted to share a little bit with you.
Thank you.
So, which I felt like my martial, I was really martial, but yoga is teaching me how I keep my organs martial, not only the hands and legs.
So, hello. So this is, so you go from outside to inside. A lot of people who do, come, please. શું કહો છો? Sorry, I didn't. Come, of course. એટલે આમાં શું પ્રોબ્લેમ છે? અચ્છા, you had ammo. Okay. So can you hold this? You can, ne? Doesn't matter. So see, this is the other beauty. If you are also having certain deformities, હવે આ તો impute થયો. He had no control over it.
I had, but I have mistake.
Fine. So that is now a safety issue, But what I mean is that ampute is થયું, ભલે એમની mistake છે, but it's not hereditary, it's not a disease. એવી જ રીતે we have had students who are veterans, war veterans, US માં, પગ વગર, હાથ વગર, and Guruji has taught them also yoga. So the same thing applies. Whatever we have, we can do yoga with. કરો તમે, સામે face કરો, feet together. પગ સાથે, હવે બે હાથ ઉપર સ્ટ્રેટ લો. So you see, he is naturally soft. There is some stiffness here, especially in the dorsal, but he is naturally. Correct. હવે અહીંયા કરો. Correct. So he has to naturally. So yeah, you can see that. But after he does yoga regularly, you will find this length also coming closer. Why? Because you release from here. અહીંયા ભલે એમને ampute છે એટલે અહીંયા naturally short છે જ. But when this starts releasing, you will find that improving. હવે કરો અહીંયા, આના ઉપર elbows up press કરો. નહીં, કોણી મૂકો, કોણી exactly edge. હજી આગળ લો. નહીં, હાથ. હવે you walk back now. Walk back. સુધી રહેના પગ જો, પગ પોળા કરો. Correct, because he's tall, he needs to spread the feet more. So now you will see that he's straightening, but there is certain stiffness here, there is certain stiffness here. You can see it. હવે હાથ પોળો બેન્ડ કરો સાહેબ. નહીં, આ એના ઉપર સપોર્ટ હોવો જોઈએ. આ સપોર્ટ છે આપણો. હા, this is a support. હવે આ પકડી શકશો? ઓકે. હા, અહીંયા ડીપ કરો એઝ ઇફ આ ભાગ. So then you start seeing life coming here. એ ગુરુજી કે જ્યાં બમ્પ્સ છે ને આવા, ત્યાં there is no life. So how you get life in that is by doing different things. So now when he's pulling the thighs back, you will find space created in this lumbar-dorsal region. Okay, so there are different things. So we have ropes in our class, જે આપણે અહીંયા નથી બતાડી શકતા. But the ropes, they're an amazing part in your yogic practices. Okay, thank you.
I felt relaxation after he pulled me.
Exactly. So see, different things work for different people. So તમે ક્લાસમાં આવશો તો તમને you will be helped in so many different ways. Okay, automatically that freedom comes in your body. You know? Okay. Thank you. So we continue. We saw Tadasana, by default we saw Uttanasana. A different way of doing. હવે આપણે ઘણીવાર ઉત્તનાસન કરીએ છીએ. So I'll quickly ask them to demonstrate what is classical Uttanasana. કોઈ કરો? You wait, you help the other. તું કર. So this is why we have forward bending. Now say you can't do. You can't do, for example, for whatever reason. So we have different things. Chair લઈને કર. So ઘણીવાર people are very stiff or they have back problems. So when you have back problem, in the beginning you advise them that don't bend forward directly. So you do half. You can do half in different ways. I am a બંધ રાખી and I am just relaxing over it. So what you see is the parallelity. Normally શું થાય? Somebody who's stiff, તમે કરો. He knows what is needed. કરો અહીંયા. નહીં, આમ જ કરો. ઉત્તનાસન કરો. કાંઈ કરો. So you see this hump. What does it mean? Okay, this side is elongating, this side is not. Whereas what Sudhir is doing, both sides are elongating equally. So we try and use props in such a way that both the anterior part always tends to go in when you do back bends. And that's what causes pressure on the back, which aggravates back issues. So naturally the doctor will say, nahi karo. But what he means is, arm nahi karo, arm jarur karo. See, this has to be done. In fact, come on. One of the cornerstones of back therapy is Ardha Uttanasana, which is supported. Cornerstones, apart from twistings and many other things. But forward bend is strongly recommended, but this forward bend, not what we do with age or without any support or without any training. Okay. Any other variation? Karo. What do you do when you have no props? Karo. So this is one more way. You can see that the back automatically straightens. પકડા. So as he learns to stretch this more and more, you will find this opening over time. Now this is chronic. So it takes months, if not years, for this to straighten. But that is the goal. But he will start feeling well much before that. So you don't have to wait till you become Sudhir in your practice. I'm 75. Okay. So what it means is, it is open to everyone, irrespective of what. There you can see the same thing there. But these are people who are trained, who have bodies which can move properly. But in spite of that, even for those where it's not the case, you will see this happening. Okay? Adho Mukha Svanasana. Everyone has heard of dog pose. Barabar? Karo. Pehla just some 3-4 of you. Tame karo. This we all do. Now, many times away, who is તમે કરો. So typical poses where the legs are rested, the back is same. You can see કે આખું તાડાસન જેવું જ છે, but in a different angle. Okay. But then there are many people. Okay, come down. All of you come down. હવે Jikisha, come here. Come on. Just turn the mat this way. The rest of you just, yeah, કરો. Facing that. તમે પણ આવો, ઉપર આવો. આ મેટ આમ લઈ લે ને. મેડિકલ ટર્મ ના કહે ને ખાકડું કેસ છે એટલે બધા બહુ પ્રોબ્લેમ હોય ને સો અવર બોડી બીકમ્સ લાઈક ધેટ ફોર વેરિયસ રીઝન્સ કરો વિજયભાઈ નો તમે કરો નો આઈ વોન્ટ સો યુ કેન સી હિયર નાઉ શી ઇઝ બેટર બટ હિયર યુ કેન સી દેર ઇઝ અ સ્લાઇટ બલ્જ there is slight bending of the elbows the weight is moving on the outer side of the palms instead of the inner side also Amata, there are gross differences, which is okay. He said he's 75, he has health problems. But then we can work on the feet. Like in her case, the heel is at least resting. In his case, the heel is not going down at all because of chronic stiffness or shortening of the calf muscles and various other things. So here what we can do is, okay, come down. You go and emne here wall par karo. Do against the wall. Wait. First go on the wall. Just do on the wall. Come upar aao. You fold a blanket. Now do this. Folded blanket bucket. Stand with your heels on this. So now when you use the wall as a prop, Sudhir just show what to do. Now go down and so here is courage from the beginning. His heel is fixed because of the height. So if the Muhammad doesn't go to mountain, they say no mountain will come up. So you raise the height of the floor for him. Ave karo. So you can see at least there is life in the legs now. Barabar, because this is touching down, which was not touching before. Now for this to come up, there are different ways. You can use belts. You can use this to pull him back. You can use this wall. There are so many different things we can do. So he's creating space now. હવે થોડો હાથ આગળ લો હાથ આગળ લો હજી આગળ લો So as he creates the space, then you will find this slowly over time coming down. So this is how you train people to go towards that state of thank you. Bend. Adho Mukha Virasana. See, now he doesn't want to come down. It's a problem. Yeah? You okay? So what it means is that automatically you enter in a state which is conducive to staying comfortably, which is conducive to being quite involved. Involvement is most important. If I am not involved in any activity that I'm doing, then it doesn't really help me. You know? Now, this is for very stiff people. કે મારો હાથ નીચે જતો જ નથી. So you are using a chair. So you can do various ways. Now the floor has come up for the hand side. There the floor came up for the heel side. So all these are different ways. Anyone would like to try? Come. Anyone else? I mean, many people can do. Come. Oh, all of you come. Come on. Aao. Come, karo. Good. He's not a beginner. That's good. Chalse. Don't worry about that. So now drop your head. Mathu niche ekdam spread karo. So now we learn to ekdam relax. नहीं. हाथ fix रखो. Now So this needs to move back. Then we pull back here. So whole idea is you're creating space. Anything where space is created allows you to stay more comfortably. So you create space by distancing, create space by bringing weight to the strong muscles, you create space by using props, you go against the wall, you go on the chair. So different things can be done in Iyengar Yoga, and that is why it is for life management. It is not just that which Guruji and a lot of the students are, but it is for everyone with the different props that we have. Yeah, thank you. चलो मजा आवશે. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, yeah. Did you feel okay? See, it's not about what I think. What do you feel? So it creates an inner state which you should tell me that it's okay or not. You know, Sahib, tamne? Okay. Thank you. Fine. हाँ तो heel ऊपर हाँ right. So push on the heel. તમારે હાથ ઉપર વેટ નથી લેવાતું તો પગ ઉપર વધારે વેટ લેવાની કોશિશ. Yeah. So this is how you train. Even the teachers learn how to do it, and even the students learn how to benefit from this sort of training or this sort of involvement. You know, chal, bend your legs at the knees. હા આપણે ઘૂંટણ પર આવીને બેન્ડ કરો ફોરવર્ડ. ઓકે ફાઇન ફાઇન. Fine. Okay. Thank you. Chalo, the next asan we'll be showing, Sudhir, is Bharadwaj. So we have done forward bends. We have done now twisting. Twisting of the spine is a very important movement. And they say, Guruji used to say that one of the signs of physical aging is when your twisting movement reduces. So the reverse is equally true. If you learn twisting properly and practice it regularly, it keeps the age of your body young. The body age. Physically, we are all aging. But how does the body stay? So what he is doing is the classical pose, which is called Bharadwajasana. There are many twisting poses. But if I can't do Bharadwajasana sitting, then I have a chair. Give a brick. Keep a brick within, yeah. So you can sit on the side of the chair and do. You can sit inside a chair and do. You can sit in Virasana and do. You can sit in Padmasana karo. You can sit in different poses. You can do the same thing. Okay? One of you do Supta Padangushtasana 3. કોઈનાથી થશે કર એને કરવાનું કરો જિગેશ. You come this side. You will do Parivritta Trikona. And if you want to do more difficult poses, which are standing poses, one is Parivritta Trikonasana. She is doing Supta Padangushtasana 3, lying down. Here, this is a standing pose. You can also go into Parivritta Parshvakonasana. So, from very simple poses which all of us can do, there are poses which practically none of us can do. So, Iyengar Yoga has that range. It has the possibility. So, when we teach young children or when we teach people who are trained, you can teach them more difficult things. When we teach diseased people, older people, less flexible people, we can do different things, different ways. So, you have a whole range of things which can be done, and that is what Guruji has created for us. These are all the classical poses which all of us learn in our class. Badda karo છો. But when you can't do it, what do? Does it mean that you stop the yoga? You cannot. So that is where all these things come in. You know. Now many times at home, I have only bricks. Come here. Be brick la. No, they are couple. Couple માં શું કહેલું તું મેં ને કરો. You do. Where's the better half? ક્યાં ગયા? આવો અહીંયા. You to. So many times this is how we teach two people to do Adho Shvanasana. You come on this side. So both have to push equally. You push more, then you see what happens. આ બાજુ આવો ભાઈ. તું પણ કર કઈ. ચાલ. So both of you start from here and pushing equally come up in Adho Shvanasana. So there are different ways, you know. So this way you learn to balance, this way you learn to do together. Then you can train them by get the heel down, move the heel down. Then you can also do different things. Get the feet together, Ekapada. Take one leg up.
Chikungunya ma finger variation downward or help.
The other foot. So then you learn how to progress. So now you learn weight distribution, balance, alignment. So you go from what is easy, what is doable, to what you are challenging yourself. Okay? Then bend your legs at the knees and come down once you finish. Okay, and he is suffering from back pain today. So you're okay. And you were saying something about chikungunya? So you tell them, no, why don't you? You have a mic, someone? So these are all stories. When we hear, આ તો આપણે ખાલી માણસને જોઈએ છે, but what has happened, like someone said about their experience. Yeah, એવા તો દરેક જણાની એટલી સ્ટોરીઝ હશે.
I think હવે આવ્યું.
Yeah, okay.
એકચ્યુઅલી અમને ચિકનગુનિયા થયેલો બંનેને પેલું જુડા પાન જેવું હોય ને બંનેને. સો મેં સ્ટેરોઇડ્સ લીધા. અમે લોકો બંને યોગા પ્રેક્ટિસ કરતા હતા અને એને નહોતા લીધા સ્ટેરોઇડ્સ. પણ શી કેમ આઉટ ઓફ ઇટ બેટર એન્ડ લેટર ઓલ્સો આફ્ટર દેટ her recovery and after the recovery also. So it was a real life example of science versus yoga, but it also has to do with practice.
Yeah.
So like he said, 364 days.
Like
One day
chikungunya,
holiday.
I think,
Yoga day you have a free છુટ્ટી.
ના ચિકનગુનિયા અમને વધારે જણને થયેલું અને એના હાથ બી બહુ સ્ટીફ હતા અને this is what he was
So you do different
taught to
hand
do
movements, you know.
અને શરૂઆતમાં જરા બી થઈ જ નહોતું શકતું, આમ હલતું બી નહોતું.
Yeah, but
It is very
where are these
painful,
hand
chikungunya.
movements done? No, Sudhir. Go up in Adho Mukha Vrikshasana. Tukar. So where do we learn actual hand movements is when you do handstand. Then you learn to do the same handstand with different hand variations. You see? That is the real pose, but how many of us can do this? Then you come, so all this is modified and brought down to a level where all of us can benefit from doing these sort of asanas. That one takeaway should be that okay, it is for everybody. If you see light on yoga, you will shut it and go home. કે યાર અમારે કાંઈ નથી થવાનું. But light on yoga is not Iyengar yoga. Iyengar yoga is what you are seeing here, what you have experienced, many of you. That is what Iyengar yoga is all about. You know, we don't. Of course, we want you to do all this. We will train you to do all this. But till then, that journey, there is a journey to it. There is a way to get there. And it is that journey which defines what we have learned, what we are teaching or sharing. It can't be called teaching, what we are sharing, so that everyone walks that journey, but everyone's journey is unique. because everyone comes with a different back, different point of view. We say, no, each one brings their own baggage. It's different. Barabar? Anyone else? Anyone else? Any of you want to try handstand? We can help you. No, serious. There's no half handstand. Ardu bata. Some of you go, one more person, someone else also do. Bharti kar. So in half handstand, you take distance. Now you mark the distance where her foot was, you place your palms and then walk up. This is doable. Now suddenly what looked difficult is now doable. You see? So this is how you progress. First you get the confidence કે ભાઈ પગ ઉપર લેવા છે કે મારું માથું નીચે રહેશે તો I am not going to feel giddy or confused or scared. Then you can take one leg up at a time. You fall at your own risk. We don't take any. But so what it means is that's how you learn control. Normally આપણે શું વિચારીએ, you just have to throw yourself. It's not just throwing yourself into something. It is having controlled movement. So yoga is about controlling all these things. Okay. Now what do we do next? Jagruti એનું કરશું ને, we'll come. Yeah. Now comes the king of poses. Now કેટલા વાગે? Okay, 7:50. So we have some sufficient time. So Iyengar Yoga is defined by this pose. All Iyengar Yoga studios, teachers, students around the world will be doing a lot of inversions. Okay? So we'll try and show you today what different ways we can do something like Sirshasan. We'll start with Sirshasan. Pella classical. Who can do in the center? Come in the center. તું પણ કરશે ને headstand? માથા ઉપર ઉભો રહેશે ને? કર ચલ પપ્પા સાથે. કરો. જાગૃતિ, come on. તું આગળ આવ. તમે દિવાલ પર કરો. Do with do against the wall, of course. Come. Half karo. Oh, there you go. The youngest yogi. તું પણ કર ચલ ભાઈ પાસે જા. Go. And he is doing Salamba Sirshasan 2, which is a difficult one. Easy. Come up slowly. Come. Arey, aao. Pachi, over. That we'll do. First do against the wall, independent or half. Half against the wall. So basically, Sirshasan, everyone knows this is what we do. If you can't do, you can do against the wall. If you cannot do that also, you learn to do half. Then here you can't see, but they are using bricks. So there are different ways. Many times, you hunch when you do Sirshasan. That part doesn't go in. So we use bricks to guide that. So that she's doing it here, but you cannot see that, unfortunately. But when you experience this, you will realize what tremendous changes that alignment makes. You can also do variations. That you can Upavishta Konasan, Veerasan, Bharadvajasan. So you can do different things here so that you learn balance, focus, concentration. Different things are being learned when you do these sort of things. So this is against the wall. She is close to the wall, but not touching it. So if you get tired, you can just rest very briefly and then come back again. You can go up with straight legs, come down with straight legs. There are so many different. There are Sirshasan cycle, Sirshasan variations. So all these things you learn when your body is disciplined. Okay? Now I need one volunteer who will do Sirshasan. We will help. Chalo, आओ. Someone new? Come. Tuck your shirt in. તમે આવો, બધા આવો. Come. Okay. Wait, each other karo. This variation kaira ke? Okay. So basically, any pose start is as good as the base. So although over, don't be in a rush. Wait, come up. So although the name is Sirshasan, Sirshasan is a misnomer. The main weight is going to be borne by your forearms. It is not the head which bears the weight. The head is the third leg of the tripod. It gives the balance. But it is not the part which is going to bear the maximum weight. Secondly, which part of the head? It is the crown of the head. Many of us tend to go on the frontal side, but it is the crown of the head, the part which is bumpy. If you feel yourself, so that slight bump which you feel here is the part which will be resting on the floor. Okay? Your hands are strong. These are strong. Now place your hands with your knuckles touching. Strong interlock karo. હવે માથું નીચે રાખ્યું ને હવે માથું એડજસ્ટ કરો કે આ કપ એન્ડ સોસર જેવું ફિટ થવું જોઈએ નાઉ વોક ઇન નહીં ઉભા રહો હું કરાવીશ તમે કાંઈ નહીં કરો સુધી રહ્યા તમે યુ ફોલો માય ઇન્સ્ટ્રક્શન્સ ની સ્ટ્રેટ રાખો ની સ્ટ્રેટ સ્ટ્રેટ કરો વાળો નહીં સીધું કરો એમ હવે પગ પાસે લેતા જાઓ સીધા રાખીને હવે એક પગ ઉપર લો सीधो करो हाँ ने यू गो ओके एल्बोस थोड़ा अंदर लो पासे हजी पासे so many times the other belief we have is ke broad base is better but in Sirshasan hands closer is better than yeah બરાબર છે get a blanket અહીં અમુક તમને માટે રહેતા હોય તો રહેવા દો are you comfortable એટલે 20 મિનિટ છે હજુ ક્લાસને યાર આ ખોલી નાખ હજુ વાર છે તારે કરવાનું છે keep your elbows closer slightly and no touch the knuckles to the wall right in this inwards wrist strong wrist not collapsing now करावे ना ख्याति come she's good karo she'll go up easily so when you go up the elbows tend to move out they have to stay in karo એમને કરાવ ખ્યાતિ
Yes.
Are you comfortable? Okay. Now, if you can't do half Sirshasan, you can do with the feet against the wall also, like how you did handstand. Can any of you do that? So this is anyone else? Okay, many times we get lot of patients especially who have severe neck problem. So they can definitely not put any weight, not even supported like this on there. So what do? So we have two options. One, the easy option which you will see in any yoga studio is using ropes. So we do what is called rope Sirshasan, which unfortunately we cannot show today. But we have a second way of doing it. So I need one volunteer to come. Somebody who's not done anything before. Come. Out. Just put. Are you okay? Guys, તમે કર્યું? How do you feel? Okay, no, you could stay, right? With help, that's okay. That's what props are for. They help you to become independent. So what we are going to show now is how a person who is not able to take weight on the neck region will do. So we use 2 chairs. नहीं तू नहीं कर एमने करो हाँ you should you I don't want you to show them चश्मा काढ़ो kneel down kneel करो kneel करो kneel करो એમ ગિલોટીન હોય ને ઓલું માથું કાપે ને એવું એવી રીતે is getting ready for that relax એકદમ relax થાઓ પહેલા નહીં નહીં don't keep it this way no 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 હાથ છોડો hold આવી રીતે extend करो हाँ એમ I want you to relax in it. This is a relaxing pose. Now come up on pag upar karo सीधा walk in walk in walk in walk in walk in walk in अब एक पग ऊपर लो ने ऊपर लो yeah take it up so the 2 chairs are supporting the clavicle bones here. There is no weight. The head is like ghata avastha, what you call it. It is just hanging passively. And you are getting all the benefits of Shirshasana without any issue of injury, without anything of creating more problems. And if he relaxes in this, studies have shown that proper usage of Shirshasana actually brings blood pressure down. We have that notion કે શીર્ષાસન કરવાથી blood pressure વધી જશે. હા, if you have BP, you don't start with this. But normal people will find a drop in blood pressure rather than rising of blood pressure. Okay? Okay. So these are things which teach you how to do the same thing without injury. Injury is a big fear. And injury happens. કોઈ પણ સ્પોર્ટમાં થાય આમાં there is a chance કે there can be some sort of injury, ક્યારેક muscle pull થઈ જાય, ક્યારેક jointમાં spasm આવે. So we try and avoid that to the maximum level possible. Okay. After this, we normally do Viparit Dandasana. Get the bench, Kathy. A bench આગળ લે. Just help her, na? Get the bench forward. Someone put a chair here. So you come on the Kathy kar. Tu કેમ પાછળ જાય પાછળ? તું અહીંયા કર. Tu chair ઉપર કર. Someone. One of you who has not done anything, come and do. Everyone is here. We are not. આવ. તું અહીંયા કરને. Do one more. બે જણાને કરાવ. So this is fully supported. This is comfortable. Suwani, this is to relax comfortably into the pose. આમ લઈ લો ને ઉલટું કર. This is where you are partly supported, partly the head is hanging. So there is some muscle control which you actually need. Okay, Amma, there are different variations, different things. So this is how we do for people who are not. Wait, Sudhir, wait. દેખાશે નહીં, તું ઉભો રહે આમાં. Wait. આ લોકો પતે પછી. See, this is the problem. Everyone is over enthusiastic, to do. Normally આપણે બધાને ફોર્સ કરવા પડે કે આવો. પણ અહીંયા બધાને ફોર્સ કરવા પડે કે ભાઈ નહીં કરો હમણાં. Because it gives you that high, it gives you a natural feeling which is so good. Okay, come. હવે આ chairs કાઢો અહીંયાથી. નહીં, both of you do. Come, Nidhi, Sudhir, હવે કરો. And what is the classical pose? આ તો આપણે supported જોઈએ છે. So how do you classically do this pose? થોડું આમ. Sudhir, come in the center, Raji. Pull your mat in. Yeah. Now, Kathy will stay like this till the end of the class. She is not interested in coming down. No, but it actually happens like that. People fall off to sleep, It's so relaxing. And what is the classical pose? This is classical Viparit Dandasana, where the full weight is borne on this. And Guruji, even after he was 80 years, he used to stay like this for over half an hour. Half an hour in classical Viparit Dandasana. So that was the level of training, that was the level of discipline, control, and control of the mind to stay peaceful, to stay in that state of how do we define asanas? Sthiram sukham, sthirata sukhata. So to get sthirata and sukhata in a pose which is obviously not easy requires a lot. And that is what Iyengar yoga, correct training helps you to do. You see? And that is why we say again and again, you start from chair, you come to this, you practice this, and then you proceed. So there are so many other backbends. If you've seen Light on Yoga, if there is, you cannot imagine what a body can do. આપણું શરીર શું કરી શકે છે, only if you see that book, you will get an idea. But what Guruji said is, I have done all this so that you can get the benefit without going through all that thing of practicing 6 hours a day, 8 hours a day and night, not doing anything, not eating properly. He was saying, backbend કર્યા પછી સુવામાં પણ I could not sleep flat on the floor. એટલું બોડીમાં પેન ને સ્ટીફનેસ આવતું હતું. But he could do all that because of his discipline. But you are saying the same benefit you can get through the props, through correct alignment, through correct sequencing, maintenance, without going through all that. Because we are all grahastis, we are not yogis or teachers of yoga. We have our life, we have different things. So if I am an entrepreneur, there is a doctor, there is an EMA, someone is there, there are so many, all of you do different things. So you have to incorporate it in such a way in your life that it improves your life and the quality of what you do in your life. You know? Barabar. Now, when you do Shirshasana, typically you also do Sarvangasana after that. That is a must where Iyengar yoga is concerned. So just do classical જે 3-4 blanket લઈને કોણ કરે? Who can do independent કરો. And 2-3 of you take chairs and go into chair Viparit Dandasana. આ સાહેબ ઉપાડી લો. અહીંયા મૂકી દો. So typically, an Iyengar yoga class starts with prayers, then standing, then sitting, forward bends. We didn't do forward bends, but there are a lot of forward bends you can do. We did Uttanasana actually. Then we do inversions. So another very important aspect is that we use multiple blankets to support the neck and shoulder, which many systems or most systems don't do. But Guruji believed that this is a must for proper doing and maintaining. Again, he would stay for long periods of time, you know. So you can see this is a very simple supported way where you can stay for very long periods of time. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. In fact, a lot of our pranayam practice we do in chair Sarvangasana, what we call chair Viparit Dandasana, what you saw before. Chair, you will see variation. All this we also do pranayamic practice because you are stable in it for long periods of time. There is one more you do against the wall, which is called Salamba Shirshasana. So there are so many variations for so many different effects which you want, you know. You get your So you can see, even though it's supported, the chest is open, there is a natural chin lock, the shoulder blades are in. So all the typical changes or all the typical movements are supported, whether you're doing here or whether you're doing independently. Okay, now Viprit Karni, those on the chair, take both the legs straight up. Viprit Karni, Sahib. So you take the legs straight up. Not Viprit Dandasan, legs सीधा ऊपर लो. M, right. You can take one leg down at a time. So you can do different variations in this. You see? Then the other leg. So all these things you learn with internal control. You know what today the common word is core. You know, you use the core. Of course, you use the core in all these practices. Otherwise, you cannot sustain any of these practices. Come up. So there is no activity, yogic activity possible without engagement of core muscles. You know. Now come down. All of you slide down to Halasana Mao Pella, pachi come down. And if you can do that one blanket setuband, એટલે એક blanket કરીને drop back. Don't use multiple. Setuband Sarvangasana. Take someone take cross bolster, someone take brick, and someone take one blanket and एक blanket. हाँ, कर. Brick કરીને. करो करो चलो. So in therapy, we use props like bolsters because they are comfortable. When you want to train your body and discipline it, then we use bricks. So you can use one brick, you can use 1.5 brick, you use what is called cross bolster. You put one horizontal, one vertical, and the whole spine is longitudinally supported by that. So you can stay for a long. Even this we use for pranayamic practices, you know. Watch, watch. ત્યાં ધ્યાન રાખજે પાછળ ઓલે છે ભારતી છે ત્યાં કમ દિસ સાઈડ. So this is the classical pose. Again, classical pose is also you extend the legs after that. But basically, yeah. 8:14. Okay. We just take another 5-10 minutes and we finish. You know, this is that flow effect. You get into the flow, you don't realize how time flies, you know. So these are all poses where your body is bearing all the weight. So it takes discipline, it takes a lot of practice, and you always remember the principles. And now once you've come down, go into Shavasana, just lie back. So Shavasana also we do in very different ways. Take 2-3 folded blankets. એમને એક બ્લેન્કેટ આપતો અને એક માતા માટે. Yeah, karo. Now you lie down here and legs on the Someone take a vertical bolster and Baddha Konasana. Vertical bolster and Supta Virasan. करो चलो चलो साहब फ्लैट નોર્મલ શવાસન એમને માથા માટે બ્લેન્કેટ આપો so alignment and it's very important that all these factors are maintained in every pose that you do so you can lie down on the floor calves on the seat of the chair there are three folded blankets he's on the floor he's on the floor same here he is using a bolster Baddha Konasana. He is on the abdomen. Anyone can do Virasana, Supta Virasana. Oh, now we need a bigger stage next time. Okay. One of the recommendations vertically. Khyati, Supta Virasana. So, leave it now. Just do what you're doing. And no, do what you're doing, of course. Okay, so just we've seen what people do. We just have, please, there are a lot of stories. You ask everybody here, they have gone through some issues. They've come with issues and it has been sorted. During life, what happens? You enter into issues and you are, helped with it. But there's one person I would like to, Jagrut. She has a story which is quite, બોલવાનું છે હવે કરવાનું બહુ કર્યું અહીંયા ચલો
अच्छा आई एम अ कैंसर सर्वाइवर
જોરથી બોલ
हाँ कैंसर सर्वाइवर છું હું
કોઈને નતા મળતું
સર એટલે
બેસ બેસ she is allowed to sit not all of us
થેન્ક યુ સર અચ્છા કેન્સર મને થયું હતું
કોઈને સંભળાય
સર્વાઈવ
બધા?
થઈ ગઈ છું અને મને કેન્સરની દરેક ટ્રીટમેન્ટ થઈ ગઈ છે કેમોથેરાપી સાથે રેડિયેશન્સ ઓપરેશન વેક્સિનેશન્સ અને હોર્મોન થેરાપી હજી ચાલી રહી છે જસ્ટ પાસ થઈ ગઈ છું ડિસેમ્બરમાં કમ્પ્લીટ થઈ જશે સો આફ્ટર ઓપરેશન્સ મારી એક્ઝિલા લિમ્ફ નોટ્સ બધી નિકાળી દીધી હતી સો લિમ્ફ નોટ્સ જાય એટલે તમને ઇસ્યુઝ થાય એ પાર્ટ ઉપર મને અહીંયા મારા રાઈટ સાઈડમાં હતું અને ત્યાં મને સ્વેલિંગ લોટ્સ ઓફ પેઇન્સ કોઈ મૂવમેન્ટ નથી કરવાની એટ ધેટ ટાઈમ કોઈ પ્રકારનું વેઇટ નહીં લેવાનું કોઈ પ્રકારનું પંક્ચર નહીં અને પ્રેશર બી નહીં લેવાનું મારો હાથ એક પ્રકારે એમ કહેવાય કે સાઈડમાં મારે હાથ છે કોઈ એક્ટિવિટી નથી કરવાની ફિટનેસ લવર હતી યોગ જાણતી હતી અને ડિસાઈડ કર્યું કે હું આયંગર યોગ જઈશ બિકોઝ ઓફ પ્રોપ્સ યુઝ થતું હતું પ્રોપ્સથી જે મારા અહીંયા મસલ્સની એક્સટેન્શન્સ એક્સપાન્શન્સ એ જે પણ કંઈ આવે એ ઇફેક્ટ આયંગર યુગમાં આવ્યા પછી રોપની સાથે બેલ્ટ સાથે બ્રિક સાથે બંને સરના ઓબ્ઝર્વેશન ને ગાઈડન્સમાં મારે યોગ જર્ની સ્ટાર્ટ થઈ અને આઈ એમ બ્લિસફુલ કે હું આજે તમારી સામે એકદમ હેલ્થી ને ઊભી છે તમે મને અહીંયા શીર્ષાસનમાં બી જોઈ હશે સર્વાંગાસનમાં બી જોઈ એટલી મેં રિકવરી અહીંયા લઈ લીધી છે સો જે વાત થઈ એ 365 ડેઝ યોગ અને આયંગર યોગ ગુરુજી માટે થેન્ક યુ
yeah her real worry was કે બોલવાનું સ્ટાર્ટ કરે તો બંધ નથી થતું એટલે that's what she said કે સર હું બોલવા લાગીશ તો બંધ નહીં થાય so thanks for no but see what it means is we don't know આપણે બધા હું પણ ઓડિયન્સમાં હું તો there are just yoga practitioners But each one has a story, each one comes with a certain background, and each one has some unique things which have happened, including the teachers, including students, flexible હોય, stiff હોય, કોઈ પણ હોય. દરેકને આટલા વખત તમે કરો તો ક્યાંક તો ઇશ્યુ આવવાના જ છે. So this helps you in life. What we started with, Iyengar Yoga is for life management. It is not for flexibility. It is for flexibility, but it is not for flexibility alone. It is not for just focusing, but mind alone. All that is used in whichever aspect, phase, or situation of life that you may be in or that you may come in. We don't know what will happen tomorrow, but we believe, and we've seen in Guruji and thousands of people that they've gone through these things with that equanimity, with that Ananta Samapatibhyam, because of the correct practice. I am sure many systems of yoga can attain that. We are not claiming that we are the only system, but we can definitely say that we are one of them which brings about these positive changes in life, in our mind, body, breath complex, which helps us to look after all the aspects of life. Whatever it comes through, it's not કે ભાઈ હવે આજે મારે બહુ પ્રોબ્લેમ છે તો હું 2 મહિના યોગ મૂકી દઉં ને આના ઉપર જ ફોકસ કરું. In fact, there's a very interesting story. One of Guruji's very celebrity students, of how he became popular in the West. Each time there was a very popular violinist called Yehudi Menuhin. So Yehudi Menuhin, this long story, but he came in touch with Guruji, became his student. So તમે ધારો કે એમના આશ્રમમાં પૂનામાં જાઓ ને, he had presented him with a watch, and on the watch behind was the inscription, to my best violin teacher. He did not call Guruji yoga teacher, because he said કે આ યોગ શીખવાથી I became more proficient in my violin playing. See, that is the difference. So it teaches you or makes you better in what you are doing. Of course, you will improve in your yoga. I mean, otherwise, we are not good teachers. But that is applied. This is a pure science. That is the application of Iyengar Yoga in whatever you are doing. And that's the beauty of it. And that's why it's very important. Okay, it be practiced. In fact, in difficult times, you do it more. But COVID kehta tha ne આ લોકો. COVID વખતે you do it more.
Many. We had one cousin. She was hospitalized. She's a 15-year-old. She was on ventilator for almost 45 days, and with supported savasan, she came out in 5 days out of ventilator. Like that, there are so many
Now,
cases.
the
The
stories
list
there,
is long.
but it's the principles, because there are sound principles on which it is based. It is not a one-off. તમે આખી દુનિયામાં લોકો જે આ પ્રેક્ટિસ કરતા હશે અને વાત કરશો તો you'll find different stories. Some very simple, કે ભાઈ મારો knee pain હતો ને જતો રહ્યો, કે મારો back pain હતો ને. And some cancer survivors, some war survivors. We have a student, Shirley, in Israel. At the age of 20 or 25, she was diagnosed with some cancer form. Today, after 20 or 30 years, she still survives. That's not enough. એ જ્યારે કીમોમાં જાય, ઘણીવાર એ ક્લાસમાંથી આવે, oh, I've been diagnosed with cancer. Oh, really? I'm going for chemo tomorrow. એ કીમો કરવા જાય ત્યારે bolster લઈ જાય, blankets લઈ જાય. So there are photos of her being in supportive Sarvangasana whilst the chemo is going on. પછી રાતના બધાને પાર્ટી કરાવે, all the patients. And once one doctor told her, this is very, I don't know if you know it, okay, Shirley, I think you have only 5 years more. We have statistics, no? 5-year survival rate. She said, doctor, who are you to tell me how many years I'll survive? I'll see what happens. So that attitude, and today she is living. Again, last time Rajveer, someone spoke to her, again she has been diagnosed with somewhere else. She takes it in a stride, She says, I've become friends with it rather than seeing it as an enemy. So that mind frame which it creates is the real thing.
Can I share one more?
Yeah.
Yeah, just one
Last few minutes.
other side of Guruji. He was a devotee of Hanumanji. Okay, and at our institute, on the top of that, you will find the Hanumanji statue over there. He was a great devotee of Hanumanji. And plus, apart from these physical practices, which usually people relate to Guruji's system, but in his library has about 12,000 books. Okay, Vedas, Upanishad, Puran, Mantra, Tantra, Shastra, whatever you name it, we saw all the books. So his emphasis was to put the theory into the practice, whatever scripture it is. That was is one of the beauty of Guruji's teaching.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can go on and on, but that's not the point. The takeaway is that Iyengar Yoga is for life management. There are proper Iyengar Yoga classes run by Astral. We have 2 centers today. Maybe there'll be more. So, if anybody is interested, just where is the yeah. These are our activities, but these are the 2 camps which are going to start from tomorrow. So if anyone's interested, please feel free to.
Tomorrow's workshop, first session will be at 6 to 7:15 for beginners, and 7:30 to 9 for regular people.
I mean, it's all
which
there.
will go on for 3 days
Yeah.
by sir. Okay, so you all wish to take a test of it. You are most welcome for it.
Yeah. And now even the person who's giving vote of thanks has already come. So I think we end for the day. Thank you very much. We've had a good time interacting with you. I hope you've learned something. And thank you to all the students who've come together, to the young students who are shouting away.
And with my this yoga practices, these are children. My wife is here. During the first child, on the 5th month, I made her do handstand. 5th month. Both the later age also in 40 years and 42. She conceived two, and both were normal delivery. Yoga also played a very great role in that. There's a lot of-
Okay. I think last.
સર હા
Sure.
મેં ક્યારેય તમને વાત નથી કરી, તમે તો ડૉક્ટર છો, પણ આજે બધા વચ્ચે હું શેર કરીશ કે ફ્રોમ ધ લાસ્ટ ડે ઓફ માય કન્સીવિંગ હું ઓફિસ જતી હતી સેલ્ફ ડ્રાઇવિંગ કરીને, અને રોજ અમદાવાદથી ગાંધીનગર જવાનું, પછી ઓફિસથી આવી બીજા દિવસે સવારે તો જવું પડ્યું હોસ્પિટલ. મને એટલી બધી ઊંઘ આવતી હતી, આઈ વોઝ લિટરલી સ્લીપિંગ. અને પછી ડૉક્ટરે મને આમ કીધું લેબર ટેબલ પર કે ઉઠો ઉઠો કે તમારે તો કે દીકરો આવ્યો. મેં કીધું મારી મમ્મીને આપી દો, બહાર બેઠી છે. સર એમને મને પછી મળવા આવ્યા કે તમે શું કરતા હતા, કે મારી મેડિકલ હિસ્ટ્રીમાં મેં આવી ડિલિવરી જોઈ નથી, કે મધર વોઝ સ્લીપિંગ એન્ડ બેબી ઇઝ કમ આઉટ.
Great. Okay. So I think thanks everyone. It will go on and on, but we need to finish somewhere. And over to you, Anuj.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone present here. With the blessings of Guru Manu Varyaji and on behalf of Astral Charitable Trust, it is a great honor to and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. As William Arthur Ward rightly said, feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. Today, I take the opportunity to express my deepest sense of gratitude and appreciation to BKS Iyengar Trust, Pune and Mumbai. On behalf of Astral Charitable Trust, we convey deep regards and hearty thanks to Sandeep Bhai Engineer and Jagruti Ben Engineer for their constant support in carrying out different activities of yoga, cultural activities, certificate courses, and different types of treatments at the Yog Sadhan Ashram to foster harmony in the body and mind through wellness activities. To begin with, I would like to thank Yogacharya Devdutt ji for his generous support and inputs for this event. Your encouragement has constantly bolstered all our endeavors. Thank you for your unstinted support. Next, I would like to thank all the Iyengar Gurujis for their constant help and guidance that radiate a source of energy within us. We will remain grateful to you and we thank you for being with us today. I would like to thank all the honorable members who blessed us with their presence. I would like to thank Mr. Umesh Dikshit, Hina Ben, and IT department of AMA for their involvement shown and their willingness expressed to support in making the event a successful one. We are fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated members. I feel proud and thankful to Team Astral Office and Astral Charitable Trust for their continual help and guidance and tireless efforts behind the scene, which ensured the smooth execution to make this event successful. Thank you all for making this event successful. Wishing you all a healthy and peaceful journey with yoga and hope the knowledge and experience gained today will encourage you to incorporate you into your daily life. Thank you.
Thank you very much.